fight, and I'm Marya Shakil. As the battle for 2024 enters the slog overs, there are 5 states this Lok Sabha election that could decide if the NDA will really go 400 paar. The 5 states of Uttar Pradesh, which sends 80 MPs, Maharashtra, the second largest with 48, Bihar, my home state, of 40, Bengal, 42 MPs, and Karnataka with 28 MPs. Together, they are 44% of the Lok Sabha, a total of 238 seats. In 2019, the NDA had 188 seats. Bihar has seen a political realignment just months ahead of the Lok Sabha polls. And Nitish Kumar-led JDU has rejoined the NDA. In 2014 and 2019, remember, the NDA had swept the state. Maharashtra has seen 2 big state-based parties split since the 2019 polls. The splinter groups are part of both the NDA and the India bloc. So certainly making the prediction in Maharashtra very, very unpredictable, I would say. And after failing to make much impact in the assembly elections, the implementation of the CAA is the big test for the BJP in Bengal. Remember, the BJP increased its vote share from 17% in 2014 to over 40% in 2019. There was a big shift of the Congress and the left votes to the BJP. Now to the biggest state of Uttar Pradesh. The lines of the BSP and Samajwadi Party managed to pull the BJP down from its 2014 tally. That was 2019. With the BSP now fighting alone and a non-existent Congress, now a partner of the Samajwadi Party, the India bloc clearly in the state of Uttar Pradesh is a weakened force. The BJP had won 25 of 28 seats in Karnataka in 2019. But after losing the assembly elections last year to the Congress and the party's women-centric schemes delivering on the ground, the question that we ask is, will the BJP be able to maintain the numbers it won in 2019? So what are the factors that come into play? How will people really vote in Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, Karnataka and West Bengal? And that will really impact the fortunes of the NDA and the India bloc and ultimately the route that the country will take. We decode the 5 decider states on the big fight tonight. We have newsmakers lined up for you from Maharashtra to Bengal. But first up, the reporter's take, and then I bring in the guests. And I'm going to go straight to Kolkata, where Saurav Gupta is joining us live. Saurav, it's a 7-phase election in Bengal, like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. How many seats are left and how is the election panning out?
Well, it's perhaps one of the most long drawn-out elections, and like you said, 7 phases, all 7 phases Bengal is voting now. Largely, the BJP strongholds have voted, which is North Bengal, where the BJP swept last time. And if it has to keep that number or improve on that number, it has to perform a repeat of the performance in 2019 in North Bengal. That's one. Now, you have key seats to go to polls, but these are all contest seats, except perhaps Jhargram and Jongal Mahal seats, where the BJP did do well earlier, but in the 2021 elections, it did face a massive hiccup in these areas. So, Kolkata is left, Kolkata and surrounding area is left, and some of the surrounding suburbs and districts are left to vote. Bonga is going to vote in the phase 5, and like you said, the CAA is very important in border districts and its implementation, and whether the BJP has been able to convince voters about the CAA, all of that will be seen in these phases. So it's almost 50% done. With phase 5 will be more than 50% done, and at this point it seems that both parties are claiming that they have the upper hand. And only on the 4th of June we'll know who really has that upper hand in Bengal. It's a tough contest. It's a hard-fought contest in Bengal.
All right, Saurav. A quick word also from Pratibha, who's joining me from Bengaluru. Pratibha, what's really happening in Karnataka?
Well, as far as Karnataka is concerned, it's been an interesting battle. the first phase of the election here in Karnataka saw the poll plank that was dominated by Congress guarantees versus Modi guarantees there. And you have three players here in Karnataka. You have the Congress, BJP and the JDS. Of course, the BJP as well as the JDS who have joined hands there with respect to fighting this particular election. Whereas in the next phase of the Lok Sabha election here in Karnataka, the poll plank definitely changed from the guarantees battle to the battle of the Ravenna, especially with the first family of the JDS having been involved in this controversial video that has surfaced. This has definitely been one of the aspects that has been taken by the Congress to launch an all-out attack against the BJP as well as the JDS. Now, a sense of nervousness that has been gripping all the three parties here. For the Congress, right since 2004, they haven't been able to gain maximum number of seats as far as the Lok Sabha election is concerned here in Karnataka. And this time, just like how they sprung a surprise with the assembly election, they want to do the same with Lok Sabha election. As far as the BJP is concerned, there is a lot of pressure, a prestige battle of sorts, because 2019, where they won maximum number of seats with 25 out of 28, they want to retain as many seats as possible with respect to 2024 as well. And for the JDS, it is a battle of survival, because this is the first time as far as a regional party like JDS is concerned, where they've been restricted to fighting just 3 seats in the Lok Sabha election there. So in all angles when you see it, a lot of nervousness that has been gripping all the three parties here, and it will be pretty an interesting battle that needs to be waited to closely watch for as far as Karnataka's battleground is concerned. Back to you.
All right, Pratibha, thank you so much for joining us. Let me bring in the guests now. Aarti Jairat, senior journalist here in the studio. Amitabh Tiwari, political strategist. Nishtha Gautam, senior journalist. We also have Dr. Syed Zafar Islam, national spokesperson of the BJP, and Salman Soz representing the Congress. I'm going to begin with the three analysts and journalists here. Amitabh Tiwari, of the 5 states, one state which is going to be most critical and most uncertain, which is?
I think that's Maharashtra, because in Maharashtra there's a lot of confusion among the voters as to who is the real Shiv Sena and who is the real NCP. There is a battle for legacy of these two parties, and because of this hopping from one party to another by MLAs and MPs, the public also seems to have lost faith in the system. That's why we've seen a bit lower turnout in Maharashtra. Those numbers have been revised though. And we need to see whether the BJP is able to maintain its own tally, which was 23 last time, and the Shiv Sena is able to maintain the 13 or seats. Or
will the allies actually pull down the BJP?
Yeah, and the key contest there is 13 seats where both the Sena factions are fighting, and 15 seats BJP and Congress is fighting. Those 28 seats could well decide the course of Maharashtra.
Aarti?
The same question?
Yes. Of the 5, you have to pick one state.
Because
yes, Maharashtra is done. So you have to move to another state then.
Okay, so I think interesting contest brewing in West Bengal.
Yes.
You know, the BJP sprung quite a surprise last time by winning 18 seats, largely because I think the left collapsed completely, and you know, its vote almost wholesale shifted to the BJP, which helped to bump up the figures. But since then, the BJP has been making a concerted effort to, you know, make inroads and build a base in Bengal. This election will be a test of their success in whether they've been able to do that or not. Also, you know, Mamata Banerjee, of course, in the last assembly elections really, you know, trammed the opposition completely, including the BJP, which had, you know, talked about winning, you know, 150, 160 seats and was reduced to about 70 odd seats. But the fact is that since she won that huge majority in the assembly elections, there have been a lot of cracks in her, you know, although she managed to get a lot of some BJP members to cross over to the TMC. There have been cracks within her TMC as well.
Absolutely.
And I think, you know, those are going to hamper her as she goes ahead in these phases.
Talking about Uttar Pradesh, the BJP has the numerical strength, or arithmetic is in its favor because of the BSP also being there on the third poll. it's not really a bipolar contest which is playing out in Uttar Pradesh, and that is perhaps giving BJP hope that they could go back to the tally of 2014 or perhaps even better it.
Yeah, I think that's something that everybody seems to be talking about, right from the candidates to the supporters, but it is not as easy and as simplistic as it looks, because there is also a huge rumor of internal sabotage, because one particular caste is unhappy with the way the seat distribution has happened. How Thakurs were unhappy that the tickets were given out to their candidates only on the losing seats. For example, the Samajwadi Party stronghold seats like Mainpuri and some others. So there is also a rumor of internal sabotage, that one particular community is either sitting the election out, or they are going out and voting somebody else. And these are the things that can only be revealed once the results are out. But what every party, what every candidate does is interpret everything, from lower turnout, from the angst and anger of a particular community or a group. They just tend to interpret it the way it suits them. And the most crucial thing here in Uttar Pradesh is that the huge margins that we saw in 2014 and 2019, one thing we can be almost sure of, that's not going to be the case because of the efforts that the cadres are making in some of the areas there.
Of India bloc.
Yeah.
Zafar Islam, what's the big headache for the BJP? Are your alliance partners pulling you down in Maharashtra? Are you also concerned about Karnataka because of you losing the government in 2023? Are these your concerns?
Marya, there is absolutely no concern of any sort. There is absolutely no headache, and no one is giving us any headache. When you serve the people, when you win their confidence, when you win their admiration, when you have the kind of admiration they have demonstrated for the Honorable Prime Minister, then you only wait for their blessing. And I'm sure, and I'm very confident that despite everything, whatever others have said, and it is their analysis, and I'm not going to really comment on their analysis, on their assessment of the situation. But as far as Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, we are absolutely confident that we will repeat, as you rightly said, 2014 result, rather better it in Uttar Pradesh. We will surprise everyone, including TMC, in West Bengal, because our tally may be in 3 handle. So it go beyond 30. And Maharashtra, all this speculation will be put to bed once the result is out, because we know exactly then the ground reality is very different what is being discussed on the television channel. Maharashtra, we had last time 142. BJP is leading the fight in Maharashtra along with our India partners, and we are hopeful that we will be in 4 handle in Maharashtra. So 40s,
Okay.
maybe 42, maybe 43, maybe 41, but it won't be less than 40.
Okay.
So Bharatiya Janata Party is confident of our number, which we had indicated earlier. The
And
Honorable
you're
Prime
also
Minister has
confident of the
spoken.
similar number that you
all our
got in
leadership has
Karnataka
spoken.
last time?
370. I think it will be the 25 or maybe better.
Okay.
One seat here and there could be in Karnataka, but with JDS around as a partner, I think hopefully we will be able to decimate Congress party completely in Karnataka.
Okay.
Because if you see the vote share of JDS, constantly 10%, 11%, with our share put together, we are definitely on a driving seat to win all the seats in Karnataka.
All right. There's a lot of optimism there, but what about the Congress party? Salman Soos?
Well, Marya, first of all, we should give BJP 29 out of 28 seats in Karnataka, because that's the kind of confidence that they seem to have. But let me give the country some good news. The India Alliance is coming to power on June 4th. and the BJP is going to be gone. And you talked about these 5 states. Let me give you a roundup of these 5 states based on the information that we have. Let me start with Bihar. In Bihar, we had 1 seat out of 40 last time. This time, we're going to get more than 50% of the seats in Bihar. I'm talking about the India Alliance.
Yes, it's RJD which is doing the heavyweight lifting here. The Congress isn't really a factor.
Marya, you'd be surprised how big a factor the Congress is in both Bihar and UP. I mean, I think
Salman,
people need to get...
You're talking to me about my own state, and I
Yes,
seem to know it better. At least you should give me that to, at least, having covered my state for years.
Marya, please.
Yes.
You let me speak now because I have to make my points. You gave me an opportunity. I know it's your state, but... And we know that RJD is a bigger partner there, just like Samajwadi Party is. But the Congress's chemistry with these two parties this time is putting the fear of God in BJP. Let me turn to Karnataka. I'm going alphabetically. In Karnataka, the Congress is going to get upwards of 20 seats out of 28.
Okay.
Maharashtra, the India Alliance is going to get 30 plus seats in Maharashtra. Okay, I'm just giving you the data that I have right now in front of me. And now to UP. By the way, in UP, they got 62 plus 2 seats last time. Guaranteed they're not going to cross the halfway mark in UP.
Okay, Salman. I'm going to connect with you again on 4th to actually look into this.
Yes,
because
and West Bengal, let me just tell you about West Bengal.
Yes,
of course,
please.
we're fighting separately. TMC is fighting separately. The Communist parties and the Left Front and the Congress Party are fighting separately. Anybody who thinks that this election is only between TMC and BJP is mistaken. You will see that, of course, TMC is an India Alliance partner, so are we. Ultimately, the BJP is going to get wiped out in West Bengal.
Okay, so let me bring in now Maharashtra Congress Chief Nana Patole. Mr. Patole, thank you so much for joining us. After 4 phases, if we can have Nana Patole on the screen now, please. After 4 phases, Nana Patole, what is your assessment of the elections in Maharashtra?
देखो, महाराष्ट्र में जो राहुल जी ने कन्याकुमारी से कश्मीर और मणिपुर से मुंबई जो पदयात्रा की और जो 5 गारंटी उसमें 25 मुद्दे रखकर जिस तरह से बात रखी और महाराष्ट्र की जनता को एक तानाशाह जो सरकार दिल्ली में बैठी है नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार के रूप में, उस सरकार को सत्ता से निकालना ये महाराष्ट्र की जनता का एक मकसद बना। जो विश्वास राहुल जी ने पदयात्रा के माध्यम से, भारत जोड़ो यात्रा के माध्यम से जो दिया, तो महाराष्ट्र की जनता ने उसको एक्सेप्ट किया। और महाराष्ट्र में जो 4 फेज में अभी चुनाव हुए, 5वां फेज अभी 20 तारीख को होने जा रहा है, लेकिन 4 फेज में महाविकास आघाड़ी को ही सबसे ज्यादा सीटें चुन के आ रही है। इस तरह का पूरा अंदाज लोगों के आशीर्वाद के आधार पर देखा जा रहा है।
Okay, tell me how do you react to what the Prime Minister has said? प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ये कह रहे हैं कि जो एनसीपी और शिवसेना का जो फैक्शन उनके साथ है, जो भाजपा के साथ है, वो एक्चुअल और रियल है, और जो आपके साथ है वो फेक है। क्या कोई सिंपैथी फैक्टर है उद्धव ठाकरे और शरद पवार के लिए, क्योंकि उनसे उनकी पार्टी भी छिन गई और सिंबल भी छिन गया?
देखो, 2 चीजें हैं कि हम लाफ्टर शो देखते हैं, कपिल शर्मा का लाफ्टर शो होता है। अभी मोदी जी के भाषण को महाराष्ट्र में लाफ्टर शो के माध्यम से देखा जा रहा है। वो हर मुद्दे में वही के वही घूमते रहते हैं। कभी मुस्लिम क्या जाके खीर खाते, कभी मुस्लिम के एरिया में रहते, कभी हिंदू मुसलमान ये करते, किसी को नकली बोलते, किसी को असली बोलते, और वो पूरा लाफ्टर शो, कॉमेडी शो जैसे वहां पर महाराष्ट्र में उनको देखा जा रहा है। 2 दिन पहले जब वो मुंबई में उनने एक रैली की जिसमें जिस तरह से मुंबई की जनता को उन्हें जिस तकलीफ दी, उस बारे में भी लोगों में गुस्सा है। इनको गुजरात से लोग लाना पड़ा वो रैली के अंदर में। महाराष्ट्र में, मुंबई में ये लोगों को जमा नहीं कर सके, ये भी बात है। तो मोदी जी जितने बार महाराष्ट्र में आएंगे,
चलिए मेरा एक और सवाल है आपसे।
एकदम क्लियरिटी है
कांग्रेस
और वो आपको देखने मिलेगी 4 जून को।
कांग्रेस ने अभी तक महाराष्ट्र में जो दो लोकसभा इलेक्शंस हुए हैं 2014-2019 में काफी अच्छा नहीं किया। इनफैक्ट बहुत ही खराब परफॉर्मेंस रहा है आपका, और कुछ महीनों में सीनियर लीडर्स भी आपको छोड़ करके गए हैं। कितना इससे सेटबैक रहा है पार्टी को?
बिल्कुल कुछ नहीं पड़ेगा। कांग्रेस का कार्यकर्ता पूरे ताकत के साथ लगा हुआ है और कांग्रेस के कार्यकर्ताओं ने महाराष्ट्र में 17 जगह पे कांग्रेस लड़ रही है और 17 में से कम 15 से 16 जगह कांग्रेस यहाँ विन होते जा रही है। तो मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि एक लहर है। राहुल गांधी जी ने जो मेहनत देश की एकात्मता के लिए जो की है, भारत जोड़ो के लिए की है, भारत के सभी लोगों को एक साथ लाने में काम किया है, उसके फल अब लगना शुरू हो चुका है और महाराष्ट्र में कांग्रेस मजबूत हुई है। नेता जाने से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। एक नेता, आदर्श नेता हमारा गया है, वो आदर्श नेता तो आपको ज्यादा परिचित है। उस नांदेड़ का भी सीट कांग्रेस वहां पे आपको विन होते दिखेंगी।
In fact, one of those netas who left you is joining me now. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Let me bring in Milind Deora, Member of Parliament of the Shiv Sena. Mr. Deora, thank you so much. 48 MPs. It is the second highest after Uttar Pradesh. That's the number at stake in Maharashtra. You have been campaigning for Shiv Sena. BJP won significantly last time, 25 in fact. There are these voices which suggest that the alliance of the BJP with the Shiv Sena, the new Shiv Sena and the new NCP isn't really working on the ground. There are a lot of contradictions.
I haven't heard that it's not working. In fact, I'm quite optimistic about the prospects of the Mahayuti in the state. And you are right that Maharashtra is the second largest state in the country in terms of the number of Lok Sabha seats. I'm quite confident that Mahayuti, I wouldn't want to give you a breakup or predict a number, but the alliance as a whole, which means BJP, Shiv Sena, NCP, will get a lion's share of seats in Maharashtra.
In fact, similar confidence is being displayed by Mahavikas Aghadi. We had Nana Patole just few minutes back. When I was traveling in that Nashik, Baramati region, one sense that I did get was a great degree of despondency among the people. That they weren't sure कि उनका vote finally किसके पास जाएगा. If a person votes for X, that person may lately switch. तो ये जो जोड़ तोड़ की राजनीति है, will that put BJP on a disadvantage?
I think that what has happened in Maharashtra from 2019 has certainly disrupted Maharashtra's politics. It certainly brought about radical changes, unpredictable changes. Shiv Sena, the erstwhile Shiv Sena, aligning with the Congress, completely unheard of, unthinkable in my opinion. So these are now finally going to be tested, all these disruptive ideas, largely driven by Mr. Sharad Pawar and Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, will be tested in the next few days. This is the last phase. 20th of May is the last phase in Maharashtra. And I still believe that the voters will vote out those who, for example, in 2019 in the assembly election, the voters of Maharashtra voted for Shiv Sena and BJP to come into power. They voted for Congress, NCP to be out of power. But something else happened. And I think voters will vote out those who did that, who indulged in that disruptive kind of politics, where essentially you disrespected the voters' mandate. And I would say that the combination of BJP, which has a fixed vote share, Shiv Sena, which brings its own sort of flavor to the alliance, and NCP led by Ajit Pawar, who has strength in Western Maharashtra and other parts of the state, is a very, and of course there are other parties now, there's also MNS and there's also RPI, is a very, very formidable combination. And I think the UBT Shiv Sena, depending purely on the Congress's vote, plus what they believe is sympathy, is going to prove them wrong once again.
You know, one thing which is increasingly becoming clear is that the entire Maha Yuti is riding on Prime Minister Modi's image, because Mr. Modi himself is on ticket and all your alliance partners, all of you are seeking vote in the name of Prime Minister.
Well, I think it's fair to say that he is certainly one of the major issues in this election, and people are either demanding votes in his favor or demanding votes against. So both sides are using Prime Minister Modi as an electoral issue. But I believe that the voters of Maharashtra, the voters of India, will overwhelmingly vote in favor of giving him a third term, of giving him a hat trick, rather than the other way around. So it's not that my party or my alliance is defending his track record. Others are also making him an issue. They're also saying, don't vote for him. So both sides are doing that. That's but natural. There's a prime minister who's going in for a re-election. That happened with Dr. Manmohan Singh also. You're re-electing Dr. Manmohan Singh, or you're opposing Dr. Manmohan Singh, or you're opposing his policies. That's how things get stacked up in elections. So there's no escaping that. But as I said, it's beyond that. On the ground, there are also local factors which are giving us an advantage. There is a very broad-based alliance. There's alliance cuts across regional parts of Maharashtra. It brings areas where, in fact, BJP and Sena had no base, areas like Paschim Maharashtra, Western Maharashtra. So I believe it's a strong alliance. And I think that, to be honest with you, Uddhav Thackeray has taken too many U-turns in the last 5 or 6 years. In fact, in the last decade, because in 2014, you must go back to the history. In 2014, he fought the Lok Sabha election on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's popularity against the Congress and against Dr. Manmohan Singh. He won. He fought the assembly elections separately from BJP. They formed a government with BJP immediately after. For 5 years, they were criticizing the BJP government while enjoying power in Maharashtra and in New Delhi. In 2019, again, they came back with BJP, fought the elections in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's name, won seats based on his name, and then broke the alliance after the assembly elections because they wanted to get the chief minister's chair. And since then, they've been trying to come into this alliance. They've been trying their best to reach out to BJP and become a partner of BJP. BJP has rejected them. So now they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and they're forced to align with the Congress once again, which originally was a pre-poll alliance. A post-poll alliance now has become a pre-poll alliance. So
my last question to you.
Yeah. So I think that continuous round and round, going round and round, U-turn after U-turn after U-turn, which essentially means you're chasing your own tail, has proven costly to them and will prove costly to them on June 4.
Milind Deora, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us on The Big Fight. Amitabh Tiwari, I was looking at this data and it shows that BJP's vote share in Karnataka was 51%. They won 25 seats and 51% vote share. For what is giving Congress that optimism that this vote share, if it goes down drastically, they'll lose 25 seats or maybe they'll come down from 25? What is the best case and the worst case scenario here?
So essentially 51% BJP plus almost 10% of JDS. If you add, then it becomes 60 versus 35% of Congress party, 35 to 40%. So it's a big swing is required. What gives Congress party the confidence perhaps is the implementation of the schemes. That has been fairly decent. And Siddaramaiya's schemes have good traction amongst the women. So is the women factor which the Congress hopes, along with the Labharti factor, which is SC, ST, OBC, minority community, they will back the Congress party in these elections. And since BJP and JDS coming together also is a show of two dominant communities coming together. So that also could backfire and lead to the consolidation of Ahinda, which is again SC, ST, minority and OBC communities, and that's what Congress is largely hoping for.
And particularly this Prajwal Revanna controversy is not really adding to you, Zafar Islam, is only causing much headache. And if you look at it's a battle of welfare schemes. The state's Labhartis versus the central government's Labhartis.
See, we have demonstrated that what Congress had not done in last 60 years, that they have promises they have made that they will provide you electricity connection, they will provide you water connection, they will provide you X, Y, Z, but nothing was delivered by Congress. It was a hollow promise, which we have been able to demonstrate that we can do it and we will do it, because ease of living is something that's important for citizen and something which the Honorable Prime Minister has very candidly said time and again that it is a priority for us. We have to serve the people. And when you serve the people, you really prioritize what is their concern, and that is something which we have been able to deliver. Besides that, we've also been able to provide them free ration. We have also been able to provide them quality of life and better education. So many things which happened, which the aspiration of the lower middle class and the marginal section of the society.
You know, Karnataka was the only state which you had won in the south of India, and you lost that last year. So certainly the Congress party has more takers here. Will you not agree? Or are you hoping that it will be a different CM PM election? Because it's a PM election here.
Absolutely, you say. See, I was in Karnataka during the election time, and I was based there for almost two months. And what every person where I've interacted, they may have reservation to vote for the assembly election, but as far as the general election is concerned, everybody was for Modi. So I will not be surprised if Congress doesn't get even a single seat. While Mr. Soz was talking about 20 plus seats, but I don't think that even they will cross in the best situation one or two seats.
So Labhartis versus Labhartis, which is playing out in Karnataka and also in Bengal. I'll talk about Bengal in just a bit, but Salman Soz, comment on Karnataka, your state.
Marya, first of all, just to you and to others on the panel who are very experienced people, 3 months back, nobody could imagine that this election would turn into the kind of election it has. And frankly, it is partly in thanks to what the BJP's campaign has been about, which has been lackluster, a lack of imagination, and basically Hindu, Muslim, those kinds of things that nobody is paying attention to anymore except the Prime Minister. Then they started with the slogan of 400 paar, which you also led with. That has become a lightning rod across the country, and that is partly why this election is turned. And let me also tell you why this election is turned. Zafar talks about the achievements of his government. Yes, there are great achievements, like the highest unemployment rate in almost 50 years, the lowest household savings in almost 50 years, the lowest share of manufacturing in this economy since 1967, the lowest investment ratio in the last 2 decades, without which you cannot have jobs. That is what people want. They want jobs, they want inflation to be under control, they want things that matter to them, not this Hindu-Muslim stuff that the Prime Minister unfortunately has gotten himself into. As far as Karnataka is concerned, which was your first, the specific question, Marya, the time will tell, June 4th will come. I can tell you from what we are seeing, we're going to defeat BJP handily in Karnataka. And I think part of the explanation has been given to you by Amitabh Tiwari.
Okay, let me bring in Nishtana.
Also because these people are simply not talking about issues that matter with the people, and the Ravanna issue
women
is
are
also
again a very important factor in the state of Bengal. It's a state where there are very women-centric welfare schemes which have been given by Mamata Banerjee, but there is also that Sandesh Khali and the question of law and order.
Absolutely, and I think that's exactly what Prime Minister Modi's campaign peg is. And when he addresses people to go out and vote, I think he likes to make a point that he's addressing the women voters directly. That it is the women who are the game changers in any election, and more so in this election, because he is riding high on how the women voters had had actually brought him to power in the last 2 terms. And coming back to West Bengal and the Sandesh Kali thing, we are sitting in Delhi. We know what is happening barely a few kilometers from here.
Yes.
The Aam Aadmi Party fiasco about the assault on a Rajya Sabha member. Now, these things, Marya, unfortunately, sometimes do not sort of translate into electoral gains. It is really unfortunate, but they do not make it.
So let's talk about Bihar and Aarti and Amitabh, both of you. What has really changed on ground in Bihar that can give India bloc hope?
Well, I think one of the main reasons, Marya, is Nitish Kumar's flip-flops. You know, it's a bit like what happened in Maharashtra.
Too many flip-flops.
Too many flip-flops. You know, you are one day with one party, then the next day you go to another party, then you go back to a party. I mean, for a man who at one point was being pitched as a possible prime ministerial candidate, of a coalition government, I mean, today he's looking a pathetic shadow of his previous
Very,
self.
very pale.
Very, yes. I mean, you were standing right next to him on that Rath when you were in Patna. So, and I think that this is really one of the things that is pulling the NDA down in Bihar. Frankly, if you ask me, I mean, I'm not a great expert or anything, but if the BJP had gone alone, it probably would have done far better than tying up with the JDU.
Yes.
And, it has given the JDU 16 seats.
Yeah, that's too much.
It's roughly the same as they gave the JDU last time.
Yes.
So, I mean, 16 seats on which a party which is in complete shambles today because it doesn't have any leadership, it seems to be losing its core vote base of EBCs and, Muslims and so on. Where are those votes going to go? And most likely it seems it's going to go to the RJD.
2020 was a clear example, elections which happened right after the COVID. In fact, during the third lockdown, I remember, I was on ground covering it, and you could sense that difference, that there was a great degree of disappointment with the sitting chief minister. Although it was a CM election for the state, still people were voting in the name of Prime Minister Modi. So he is doing heavyweight lifting even there. What is Nitish Kumar's contribution? Even though 6% Kurmis are not with him anymore.
No, see, essentially he has had the women vote bank as well as the Kurmi Koiri, EBC and the Mahadalit vote bank. And because of his welfare schemes, he enjoyed decent support amongst the women also. Prohibition, distribution of cycles.
But that was when, which year?
Yeah, so that was in 2020, let's say, till up to 2020. Now, if you see what has happened in that, even in 2020 election, in the age bracket of 18 to 35, RJD got much higher support, which is 45 to 50% versus 35% for NDA. That's largely because of the unemployment and the fact that Tejasvi Yadav made a connect with the youth. If not for Congress party, they could have even won the election in 2020. So this time Tejasvi has taken credit of this 2.5 to 4 lakh jobs created during Nitish Kumar's tenure, because he was the deputy CM.
Yes.
So he is popular amongst the youth, and the RJD has also expanded the vote bank beyond MY to include EBCs and MBCs as well.
Okay.
And since NDA maxed out, there could be some losses here. We have to see how much, as you said, Narendra Modi compensates for the loss of popularity of Nitish Kumar.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Zafar Islam, Salman Soz, Nishtha Gautam, Amitabh Tiwari, Aarti Jairath here in the studio. We are now being joined by Sushmita Dev, Rajya Sabha MP of the Trinamool Congress. Sushmita, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. What are the challenges that the TMC is seeing going ahead? Because, Bengal, along with 4 others, as we have been talking about, are decider states. They will decide what will be the scale of victory and what will happen really on 4th of June.
You see, Bengal is definitely being viewed as a swing state. And the reason for it is this is where BJP hopes to recover. Because in many states in north of India, like Madhya Pradesh, they have reached a saturation point and is bound to backfire on them. Now, the challenges that Trinamool Congress has in Bengal is how the Election Commission of India deals with the elections in Bengal. We want free and fair elections and we want a clean, dignified contest. But what we are consistently seeing in Bengal is a narrative that is on a free fall, if you like. And then you have seen what happened in Sandesh Khali, where now what we are seeing is that it was concocted, it was contrived. So I think it is the narrative that is the only challenge for us in Bengal, because when it comes to organization and the bench strength of our leaders, our chief minister and our candidates, we are way ahead of the BJP.
Okay, so since you're talking about that, the only challenge for the TMC is perhaps the narrative. But look at 2019. The BJP got 18 seats. You were at 22. It did come as a surprise to many. Right now, the elections are moving to south of Bengal. There's a lot of anticipation and calculation which are suggesting that BJP may well be in a position to breach several of your citadels.
See, I think contrary to popular belief, BJP is definitely not ahead of the Trinamool Congress in Bengal. It's a sort of an action replay of what happened in 2021 assembly elections, where the BJP was saying 200 paar in Bengal. If you are on the ground, and I'm sure you are visiting Bengal, you will see that the entire narrative that TMC worked on for the last 2 years and since the Panchayat election. I think what is working in favor of TMC are the welfare schemes of Mamata Banerjee, and what is working against the BJP is the fact that since 2021, the Bharatiya Janata Party is not releasing funds to Bengal. So what Mamata did to counter that is she, from her state revenue, paid that amount to the people, whether it comes to NREGS, whether it comes to Awas Yojana. So she is not only depending on the fact that the BJP deprived the people of Bengal, but she has also delivered in place of the central government, something which is a dereliction of duty on the part of the government of India. And I think that narrative has gone down well, and that is why the TMC slogan is that they need to outvote the anti-Bengal attitude of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
There have been concerns over poll violence. The voter percentage has been much higher in Bengal compared to other states. This is being seen as a vote of change. How do you respond to that?
I think that's a conjecture. That's what I think. I mean, we are all in favor of peaceful elections. You see, whether we accept it or not, but the fact is, a scheme like Lokhi Bhandar, which is a economic empowerment of women in Bengal, has ensured that the entire women voters have swung towards Trinamool Congress and Mamata Banerjee, and that's going to be a big disadvantage for the Bharatiya Janata Party. And if you talk about violence, I think we are on record saying it repeatedly that we have no problem with central forces coming in. The more the people come out to vote, the better the chances are of Trinamool Congress. And if there is violence, it actually does not help us. So we are very happy with the peaceful election because the vote is in our favor. So we want no hurdles on the way of voting.
My last question to you, there isn't really an India bloc which is fighting in Bengal against the BJP. You are also fighting the Congress and the left there. Mamata Banerjee is very much on her own. And amidst the elections, there is a statement that has come in from the TMC Supremo, your boss, which has everybody confused, in which she has said that if India comes to power, then she'll be supporting that government from outside. So for all practical purposes, Mamata Banerjee isn't really part of India bloc.
See, what she said categorically, that she has been a part of the India alliance right from the inception, whether it is Patna, Bangalore, Mumbai, or the Delhi meetings. And she was instrumental in stitching up that alliance. But yes, she's also crystal clear that there shall be no support or no understanding in Bengal with the Congress and the left. And that's actually helps the alliance. See, what is an alliance? Alliance is stitched together so that we have a better strike rate. And the more seats that the Trinamool Congress fights in Bengal, the better it is when it comes to the number game for India alliance. Had we given more seats had we left seats for the Congress or the leftist party in Bengal, we would have actually lost to the BJP. But the fact that Trinamool is in the forefront in 42 seats only makes it very difficult for the BJP to get their numbers in Bengal. And I think the fact that we did not do seat sharing in Bengal is the best decision for India Alliance. And she has reiterated her commitment to the India Alliance government formation. That was never in doubt.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Sushmita. Shifting focus to the BJP now, Dilip Ghosh is joining us, former BJP Bengal president and also a member of parliament from Bengal and also someone who's a candidate. Dilip Ghosh ji, thank you so much हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए. बीजेपी ने अपने लिए 30+ का टारगेट रखा है, कितना अचीवेबल है? क्योंकि आपके लिए जो 4 फेज हुए हैं उसमें मिक्स्ड रिपोर्ट्स आ रही हैं. ये भी कहा जा रहा है कि जो टीएमसी के जो स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड्स थे उन्होंने अपने स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड्स को बचा लिया है.
नहीं, स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड तो पूरा बंगाल था. धीरे धीरे हम पूरा बंगाल को कब्जा किए हैं. 18 पार्लियामेंट्री सीट जीतना 42 में से कोई कम नहीं. और उस समय हमारे माननीय राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी अमित शाह जी हमको 22 का टारगेट दिए थे, हम 18 पहुंच गए. और इस बार पार्टी का विस्तार हुआ, लड़ाई हुआ, संगठन बनाया, कार्यकर्ताओं को हमने तैयार किया और अभी 77 एमएलए जीतने के बाद हमें टारगेट मिली 35. तो हम तो उसी तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं. अब देखिए नॉर्थ से चुनाव होते आ रहा है और जहां जहां साउथ में टीएमसी का गढ़ था, बिल्कुल जैसा बीरभूम जैसा अनुव्रत मंडल का गढ़ माना जाता था, वहां भी उनकी हालत खराब है. और जैसे जैसा वहां पोलिंग अच्छी हो रही है, जहां फ्री फेयर पोलिंग होगा टीएमसी हार जाएगा. और वही हो रहा है, इसलिए वो बुखला रहे हैं. ममता बनर्जी की भाषा सुनिए आप, ऐसा हताशा निकल रहा है उनका आवाज से. और उनके लोग रास्ता में मारपीट में लगे हुए हैं, लेकिन फोर्स बहुत सख्ती से कार्रवाई कर रही है, इसलिए वो सफल नहीं हो रहे हैं. नारायण धम करने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं. मुझे लगता है कि इसी प्रकार से अंतिम छोर तक ये चलेगा चुनाव और हारते जाएंगे वो लोग.
2019 की चर्चा करें तो उस वक्त आपको 18 सीट्स और 40% वोट शेयर मिला था. टीएमसी को 22 और 43% वोट शेयर मिला था. लेकिन भाजपा का परफॉर्मेंस असेंबली इलेक्शंस जो हुए थे एक साल के बाद उसमें अच्छा नहीं रहा. तो आपको क्या रीजन है कि इस बार शायद वो कंडीशन डिफरेंट हो गई है कि आपका परफॉर्मेंस बेटर हो जाएगा?
नहीं, उस समय पार्टी की संगठन एकदम प्राइमरी स्टेज में था. सारे नए लोग संगठन में आए थे, उनको जिला से लेके प्रदेश तक, मंडल तक सब जिम्मेदारी दिए थे हम लोग. उन्हीं के अनुभव के कारण थोड़ा बहुत कहीं चूक हो गया हम लोगों का, संभाल नहीं पाए हम लोग और सत्ता में रहे हुए लोग उसका सुविधा ले लिए हैं. इस बार पूरा तैयारी से हम लड़ाई कर रहे हैं. पिछले 1.5 साल से मुझे लगता है, उससे पहले से ही हमारे राष्ट्रीय नेता और 6 मंत्री लगे हुए हैं, हर विधानसभा तक पहुंचे उन लोगों ने. माननीय राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष नड्डा जी और माननीय गृह मंत्री जी दोनों ने प्रवास किया हर लोकसभा तक. ये सारा लगातार चला और आज तो पूरी तैयारी के साथ एकदम बूथ स्तर तक हमने संगठन भी खड़ा किया है. शायद 10-20% बूथ होगा जो एकदम टोटल माइनॉरिटी बूथ छोड़ करके सब जगह हमारा संगठन है, हमारा एजेंट है, हमारा बूथ अध्यक्ष है और काम कर रहे हैं हम लोग. तो इसलिए इस बार की लड़ाई अलग है. और टीएमसी के पास कोई इशू नहीं, केवल 500 रुपया वो लक्ष्मी भंडार देते हैं महिलाओं को खरीदने. आप बोल दिए 1000 रुपया देंगे, दूसरा कुछ नहीं, सारे नेगेटिव है, उन पर पूरा नाराज है. और संदेशकाली में महिलाओं के साथ जो जाजिती हुई है वो सारा दुनिया देख रहा है. उससे महिलाएं तो उनकी जो वोट बैंक मानी जाती थी वो भी भड़के हुए हैं. बाकी मुस्लिम जो है वो पिछले 2-3 बार लगातार उनको पूरा वोटिंग किए हैं. आज उनमें भी बहुत नाराजगी है. वो बोलते हैं हमारा वोट लेके हमको सबसे ज्यादा शोषण किया जाता है. उनके ऊपर क्रिमिनल केसेस, 80-90% मुस्लिम जो क्रिमिनल है जेल में और थाने में वो मुस्लिम है. आज वो समझ रहे हैं कि हमको क्रिमिनल बना के रखेंगे और चुनाव जीते जाएंगे. ये नहीं होगा. वो भी वहां से और वोट का विभाजन होगा।
दिलीप घोष जी, मेरा आखिरी सवाल आपसे ये होगा कि अब अगले 3 फेजेस में हम क्या क्या देखने वाले हैं भाजपा की तरफ से बंगाल में? क्या प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी की रैलीज बढ़ेंगी ताकि वो खुद क्यों वो ग्राउंड पे रहेंगे तो उसका इम्पैक्ट डिफरेंट होता है?
प्रधानमंत्री तो भरपूर प्रयास कर रहे हैं, हर लोकसभा तक पहुंचने की प्रयास कर रहे हैं। इतना तो कोई कल्पना भी नहीं कर सकता है। उन्होंने जो और परिश्रम कर रहे हैं और अपने कार्यकर्ताओं को साथ दे रहे हैं। बीच में हमारे थोड़ा मनोबल कम हुई थी पोस्टपोन वायलेंस के कारण, लेकिन सारे कार्यकर्ता फिर से लग गए हैं। और माननीय राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी, माननीय अमित शाह जी, माननीय जोगी जी का भी प्रवास रहा है और उसमें भीड़ देखिए आप, ममता बनर्जी की सभाओं में कहीं भीड़ नहीं हो रही और कहीं नहीं भीड़ हो रही। उनके एक अभिनेता है देव, जो आधा नेता आधा अभिनेता है, जना तो अपना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में जाते हैं ना पार्लियामेंट में, उन्हीं को स्टार प्रचारक बना करके उन लोग ने प्रचार कर रहे हैं। ममता बनर्जी की सभा में भीड़ नहीं हो रही है, उनके नेता शर्मा रहे हैं वोट मांगने के लिए, कोई निकलते नहीं है। तो इस परिस्थिति में वो बैकफुट पे है और उनका जो गढ़ है कलकत्ता और आसपास, उसको बचाने में लगे हुए हैं। मुझे लगता है कि वो भी संभव नहीं हो पाएगा।
ऑल राइट, दिलीप घोष जी, हमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. थैंक यू फॉर जॉइनिंग अस ऑन NDTV. That's all from me. We will be coming next week again to you with another episode of The Big Fight. Thanks so much for watching.